All right, and it looks like we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Foks Talks production podcast, whatever you really want to call it. It's kind of the idea for this is a whole bunch of stuff, but I'll just start off in the beginning. You guys can call me Fox or Evan. Either one works. Don't really care. A little bit about myself. It's been a lot of years in the making. You know, it's lots of excuses and kicking the can down the road and a lot of tomorrow's problem kind of thing. But we're here and we're recording right now and we'll get it uploaded and edited and all that stuff. But yeah. I don't know, I guess we'll start off, it's the first episode. Like I said, call me Fox or Evan. Just a 23-year-old young lad out here just, trying to figure out stuff, figuring out life. But who isn't? Who isn't? I have a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of concepts that I'd like to do with this, and so this platform, not just YouTube, but this channel more specifically, I have a lot of stuff that I want to do with it, and I'm obviously first episode, brand new to this, so I'll have to figure out how to just get stuff going. But my next step with this, ideally, I would love to be able to probably make a Discord or something like that, and then have y'all in the Discord, and then I want to have conversations with people. That's the crux of this, is just talking. I love learning, and I love learning new things, and as you guys will find out, my brain is a warehouse of just random things. And yeah, right now we're just doing solo because, to be honest, I don't know how yet to set it up to talk to other people, but that's on the itinerary. I want to sit down, talk to people. Right now it'll have to be virtually, but eventually, get our own studio, get our own place, and doing stuff. But yeah, I just had a lot of people throughout my life, even people like substitute teachers and stuff. Just the through line through my life is wow, you don't stop talking. You could just keep going. So now with the beautiful medium of the internet and YouTube and all that, you guys can hear my beautiful golden voice talk about fucking whatever for who knows how long. These first few episodes will probably keep it around an hour or so, maybe hour and a half, depending on what everyone's feeling. But yeah, I have in the description or the about section on this channel, I have the email that you guys can hit up, and we can figure out stuff there. FoksTalksBusiness@gmail.com. Again, it'll be in the either the description or it'll be on the about section. But yeah, I'm just want to use this platform as I don't know, not only just to meet people and talk to people, but also kind of use it like a $5 therapist, because I'm a fucking brokey out here, and we ain't got money to go see people to talk about our problems. So that's what you guys are for. And obviously, it's not just all going to be doom and gloom and my life sucks. But the thing that I've realized from watching other people and other content creators is just authenticity, man. There's nothing that separates me from literally anybody else with this kind of stuff. So I just want to, give you guys as much of myself and the internet that, more necessarily that I want to, but I'm just a lonely lad trying to connect and talk to people. And, I look forward to what this channel will become and what it'll grow into. Like I said previously, I have a lot of ideas and stuff that I want to do with this channel, not just strictly me sitting in my room talking to a microphone by myself, but other things down the pipeline. Yeah, like I said, it's been a lot of years in the making, A lot of kicking the can down the road, but we're finally here. We're finally recording. We're gonna get it uploaded. Well, obviously it'll be uploaded because you guys are gonna hear it. But just I've realized, especially lately in life, it's just taking little steps at a time, And it's funny with my beautiful brain chemistry. The first step is the hardest step, but once I get over that hurdle of just little bit by little bit, next thing I know, it's we're already there. We're already because I focus too much on the macro. I find more ways to shut myself down and make excuses for why not things can happen versus looking at it on a smaller, more micro scale and just taking the little steps to be able to do. I mean, you guys have no idea. Just to get to this point where I'm recording and being able to upload and all that stuff, like, it's literally been years, and I can't say that it's from, or like, not from a lack of trying, because I definitely really haven't tried to apply myself before, but that's been kind of a constant through line in my life. I was talking to my sister the other day, and like, just had like a real heart to heart with her. Like, I don't know what it is about me, but I'm afraid of success, and I'm afraid of overall just enhancing my life and making stuff better, And she brought up a good point that, you know, the unknown or doing something new, no matter what it is, that is more scary and seems more insurmountable of a task than just being in the state that you're in, that kind of comfort, right? And for lots of my life, I've just been in this range, in this zone of comfort where it's like, I don't really want to apply myself. I don't really want to push myself, not for a fear of failure or for a fear of not being able to do something, but like I said, for some reason, I'm my own biggest hater. I always put myself in front of myself when trying to do things that I know are good for myself, that I want to be doing, that I feel like I should be doing, and there's just some part of me that, I'd love to explore and be able to figure out, like, why am I such a hater? I have friends and family and people that love me and care about me, and they all say the same things, and I don't know what it is. But with that being said, this is my first steps into this world. This is my first steps into helping myself and hopefully helping others out there. Because life is already a grind and a struggle as it is, and I'm just trying to figure my way and figure out a way I can live an idealized version of my life that I'm not living currently. I got, it's kind of weird. I basically got ghosted by my job in 2020, in like March of 2020. I just didn't get rescheduled, so I was like, all right, don't have that job. And then, for the next couple years, I just kind of laid low. It's kind of nice not working for a little bit. I was thankfully being supported by, my family, and I was able to, just kind of exist in this kind of space, But I'm at a turning point, a crossroads in my life where I'm really tired of just existing. It's this weird paradoxical thing of like, I'm fed up with not doing anything, but at the same time, I don't know what to do with myself. So this podcast and other ventures that I will be seeking out will be steps into, if I might not know what I want to do, but I know a whole bunch of things that I don't want, right? So I just got to look at it from the angle of like, okay, well, if I know I don't want A, B, and C, let's look through D through G to see what those options are and what those could be. And yeah, I'm just a man out here just trying to figure it out. And yeah, I can't wait until this picks up and, I start getting feedback and hearing from people and all that kind of stuff. Because, really, at the end of the day, I'm trying to build a cabal, a coalition, a community. This isn't just me. This isn't just about me. This is about us. It's about our adventures in life and what we're going through and the kind of stuff that we're going through. yeah, so yeah, this podcast, I guess, yeah, this part's a podcast. This stuff is just kind of my word vomit or whatever I kind of have on my mind or when I feel like talking about. But I also do want to use this platform. Shout out Drew Gunby, great YouTube creator. Uh, he does a lot of advocating about like mental health and stuff like that, and I like that. So I want this platform to also be, I've lived so much of my life thinking that the way I feel and the way I perceive the world is the way that it is, right? But slowly but surely, starting in around like the 21 ish, I was able to thankfully get doctors and medication. And I've had glimpses through other substances of what I'd like to think of as a more unfiltered version of life, because a little bit about myself, my background. I have a beautiful blend of both ADHD and PDD, or dysthymia, and it's basically just like a long-term, like chronic depression. But one of the most some bitch parts of it is the anhedonia, or however you say it, and it's basically just, and I live with this my whole life, right? As long as I can remember, I was a very angry child, and I was very disruptive as a child. And then I grew up and I became, class clown, making people laugh, all that kind of stuff. But as far as I can remember, my life is just kind of, the world's about being like a rainbow. My life has just been a constant gray, right? No matter, it doesn't have to do with outside forces like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, life sucks, or this, that, and the third. But it's rather just the tinting that I have. Again, the perspective that I have on in life is just kind of skewed, and it took me a while to realize this, and this is part of why I want to do these kinds of talks with y'all too, is that it's just awareness and getting people to, other people, maybe they have it as well, or maybe going through similar things, but I just want people to be able to know that you're not the only one out there, and you're not suffering, and you're not alone. And when I finally was able to, I forget her name, it was great, I'll find it, and bring her up again. I think Teresa something. Here, let me pull it up, because this woman actually kind of saved my life. Not gonna lie. Was it Dr. Teresa? Let's see. No, it's not Teresa. I'll find her later. Whatever. But she does these amazing. She's a professor, and she does these amazing videos about mental health and like different kinds of things and types. And it was through watching her videos that I even realized that I had PDD, or that I guess would be the right term. I didn't even know that was a thing. And the more research I did, and the more I looked into it, sorry about that. I should probably put my phone. That's poor podcasting etiquette. A tricky thing about this form of depression that I and others have is that it's not like, because I'm sure everyone experiences different forms, but everyone understands what it's like to be depressed or in a depressive mood, right? And PDD is basically, I wouldn't say a lesser version. It definitely is impactful and is definitely present in my life daily. But the thing with PDD, like I and others who have it, we're so used to life being like this for so long, right? It's a chronic, long-term form of depression, right? We're so used to feeling in such a low state, and it doesn't affect us, or it isn't as obvious as other negative symptoms of mental health, like your bipolar or your manic depressive. It's not as obvious, like, oh, hey, shit, you got something going on. It's very sneaky. I fucking hate it. It's very sneaky. And so my whole life, yeah, like I said, I'm 23 now. I didn't find out until probably a year or so. I didn't even know when I was getting help that I had this, but the crux of it is that we're so used to living like this, right? Because we can still hold a job, we can have families and function and all that stuff, but we're so used to this that we don't even know that there's a better version or a better thing out there. We're kind of just like in Truman's World or the Truman Show. Like we're just in this. We think everything is just this. Like it's just like that's just the way it is. Like what? It's not hard for other people to wake up in the what? You don't wake up in the morning absolutely like just not even regretting, but just not looking forward to doing anything. Like what? That's so weird. And finding out, putting a name to the face, if you will, of what I've been battling and dealing with has helped me in so many ways because and now, I can before it was like I'm fighting with someone that's invisible, I'm just getting sucker punched and gut punches and left hooks and I can't fight back. I don't see him, right? But now with knowing what I'm up against, it's like throwing a bucket of paint on him. So now I can see his hands, oof, they dodge left, right, and I can work on things, and hopefully when I can get money and stuff, I can go to therapy, and I can do things that will help make life not so gray and not so shitty. But I just wanna help as many people as I can because I know what it feels like to not want to wake up every day. I'm very acquainted with just being discontent all the time and like that brings me back to the anhedonia. It's just means lack of pleasure. So before I knew or had a name of what this stuff was, I just knew, and growing up as a kid and stuff, I just knew that I'm very much of a people person. I feed off other people's energy. I love to meet people, talk to people, make people laugh. And when I'm by myself, I just feel just boredom and I don't know what to do with myself, And especially into my teen years, that was a rough period. But in my teen years around like sophomore, junior year is when the anhedonia was really prescient and nothing sounded good. The best way that I could make people understand what anhedonia is when you feel hungry but you don't know what to eat? That's me all the time with anything, right? So like, and it just sucks because the ADHD will make me, it's a very interesting combo, the ADHD will make me very, not obsessed, but when I get into something, I really, really get into it, right? And then I'll hit a wall where I couldn't care less about it. It no longer brings the same pleasure or happiness or escape or whatever that it did prior, And when I was a teenager, I suffered through that a lot, where there was a lot of times where it doesn't matter if I was sober or high or whatever, I didn't know what to do. I would get high and then I would spend an hour and a half trying to find something to watch, right? I'd watch 5 minutes of this clip. No, I don't want to watch that. Well, do I want to watch this movie? No, I don't really want to watch this movie. Do I want to do this? No, I don't really. Like, it's a really tricky thing trying to work around not being able to find things that you would want to do or would make you feel like, I'm trying to find the words for it. Like, yeah, it makes things, even things that I used to enjoy or things that normally do bring me pleasure, one day I wake up and it's just turned off, Like, I'm an absolute fiend on this game called Ark Survival, right? Currently, I have 270 plus hours, and I've had the game for like not even 2 months, right? But this past like week, now more of like beginning of August, like with all these things that happen, I just hit this wall, and it becomes almost like a chore. That's the best way, another way I can describe it. It's just everything is a chore, and I'm working on this myself, and I've talked to close friends and family about it. Like, my perspective used to be, I would look at something and I'd immediately go to all the negatives of it, even if it's something so small, right? Like an update on a game, that would stop me from playing it. Be like, oh, I kind of want to play this game. Oh, but no, but then I have to, oh, God, I have to do an update. I don't want to wait for the update, that kind of thing, right? Or like Ark, for example, I have a whole bunch of creatures and stuff, and it's an online live game. So like I'm not playing right now, but that world, that server is still going on right now. So you have to constantly, get food and stuff and get resources for said animals. In the past week and a half, it went from this sense of wonder and exploration and something new and cool and like, oh my God, I can do this. Oh my God, I can do this. Oh my God, I can do this. To now I'm kind of back in my old ways of when I think about the game, even right now, I'm like, fuck, I have to get so much food for all these stupid animals. And I really don't want to do that. And that's kept me from playing the game for about 2 weeks now. Something just like that, when at one point I had over 100 hours in 2 weeks, right? So it's really, I'm my own worst enemy, and I want to use this platform as a way to not only help myself, but help other people, I want, like I said previously, I want other people to know that life isn't or doesn't have to be the way that it currently is or the way they think it'll be. One of the best things that's helped me in my life that I've found true is the saying that it's a bad day, not a bad life. So when I hit one of those really low periods, one of those really gray, overcast days, I just think to myself, hey, it's just a bad day. It's not a bad life. I I try and go day by day. And like this podcast, I'm gonna get into music production and stuff. These are just things that I want to be able to use as an outlet for just how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. I've lived so much of my life just feeling discontent and not really being able to derive pleasure from stuff. But I know that this is something I want to be doing. I know this is something I can be doing. And so I'm putting myself out there. I'm getting thrown head first into the lion's den, and I'm just doing it. I'm just taking every day just one step at a time. That's the silver lining or the beauty of the situation that I'm in. I have the ability to do this kind of stuff. I might not have very many resources, but I have an ample amount of the most important thing, time. So I'm going to use the one thing that I do have and use it as a way to channel my feelings and all that kind of stuff, because right now, in the past few years, my sleep schedule is literally 12 hours. So I'll sleep for 12 hours, be awake for 12 hours. And that's what I've been on for the past couple years. Because I graduated high school in 2017, 23 now. And without that structure of like school or college or not having a job anymore, like a regular job with regular hours, I sleep all the time, and then you mix that with the PDD and the anhedonia, and it's just a toxic mix of not knowing what to do, not being able to find something to do, and overall just feeling like shit because I know, and I know other people around me know the kind of potential that I have. And I've seen it in myself, and I'm tired of being angry, and I'm tired of being unsatisfied, and I want to become the person that I know I can. I just need to get out of my own head, and out of my own way. Because again, I'm my biggest obstacle. I'm fighting myself every day. And I just got to take it one step at a time, you know? I'm sound like a broken record, but it's why I'm doing this right here. And eventually, I know it's just a static image right now because don't have a camera to record on, but eventually I'll get a camera and then we'll be recording these episodes. You'll get to see my beautiful mug. And yeah, I can't wait to reach out and meet people and connect with people and just build this cabal, this movement, Like I have so many great ideas, and motivation and ambition are like lightning strikes to me. They only come around every so often, so when they do hit, I gotta hop on that shit and ride it full bore. So that's what this is today. That's what it is tonight. It's 4:20 in the morning. Cheers, everybody. But yeah, this is just the first episode. This is the rough draft, if you will. This will get better over time. The stuff will upgrade, and like I said, now this is gonna be a platform for a whole bunch of different things that I want to do, and I can't wait to start talking to people and having y'all on here and talking with you guys about stuff. Because one of my main goals is I just want to, kind of like how Joe Rogan just has just all walks of life, right? And he just sits there and just, yeah, so what's that like? Or even Theo Vaughn, he had an episode where he's just talking to a plumber, and that's the episode. And I think that's genius, and I love that. So I'm just trying to meet as many people, many different kinds of just walks of life and backgrounds. I'm trying to connect with people, because we are social creatures, we like to be able to have our unit, our tribe, our people, and I'm feeling very rudderless at this point in my life, and I feel like this is the crossroads where it's time to branch out. It's time to meet people, talk to people, do all that kind of stuff. And again, super fortunate to be in this position to have the internet and do all this kind of stuff. Because, shit, back in the day, it was what? Radio? This just in, the newest, hottest tracks. Like, no, fuck that shit. That's for the birds right there. But, hey, all we need is a PC, internet connection, my microphone, and boom, we can upload to the tube. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to what the future holds for, honestly, one of the first few times in my life. Before it was like just kind of wandering aimlessly and not really knowing where I'm going or what I'm doing. But now I feel like I'm still in a similar position, but it's not so hopeless. Like, I still live day to day, but I know that by putting this out there, putting this into the universe, and making music and getting that out to people, making those kinds of connections, and being able to live that kind of lifestyle, that is something that I want to do. I've been working minimum wage, whatever kind of job since I was 17. I worked for like 4 years, and I know I don't want to do that anymore. I'm 23. I'm at a point in my life where I'm not trying to work with 16, 17-year-olds or people that are 40 plus, this is just me trying to make my way through life, trying to figure out how. And the best part is that you guys are here with me along this journey. Like I said, it's not just about me. It's about us. It's our journey. It's where we're going, and it's what's going to happen together with all of us, And if you guys, obviously not a therapist or anything like that, but I know what it feels like to feel like you're trapped and you don't have an outlet or an escape. So if you guys want or if you guys need to, please feel free to hit up my Gmail, send me an email. I ain't got shit going on, so I'm not going to leave you on red or act like I'm too busy to talk to you guys. I'd love to talk to you guys and I'm trying to uplift as many people with me as possible. You know, the whole saying, high tide lifts all boats, you know? Well, I've been stuck in low tide for quite a while, so I'm trying to start paddling, get this high tide going. I want all my fucking boats with me. I want everyone to eat, you know? I don't want to just sit at the table with y'all. I want everyone to be eating. So, I'm going to build the fucking table. I'm going to throw down the placemat. I got the plates, and we're all going to fucking grub out together, you know? I can't wait to start talking to people and just, you know, getting to know you guys. And I'm an old man with technology. I don't know how to Discord, but hey, I didn't even know how to do this shit before. So we're gonna figure it out. I'm no longer letting myself stop myself. I'm no longer looking at everything as an obstacle or a chore. I'm looking at it as a fun challenge, you know? Because for what resources I do have, I can work on that. I can work on, forget the whole saying or who said it, but it's basically like the only things that you can like control in life is like your reactions or like how you react to things, you know? So that's the area that I'm going to work on. I'm going to working on how I react to situations, and slowly but surely, with your guys' help, we'll build and get to a point where it's not a struggle anymore. We're not just surviving anymore, but we're thriving, and we're taking life, you know, by the balls, and we're fucking jiggling those big beautiful balls of life, you know? Because, man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know? But I'll move off from the doom and gloom stuff. Kind of heavy for a first episode, but you know, like I said before, I have nothing to gain from this but just connection. You know, I'm just a dude who lives in Arizona, doesn't know what he's doing with his life, and just kind of fumbling through it. So I figure might as well fumble with a few other people, right? Make it a group of us fumbling. Because then maybe one of us will figure it out and can let everyone else know, like, hey, psst, guys, over here. You know what I'm saying? But other parts of this podcast will be just random stuff that I think's really cool or whatever. I have a few little prompts written down here of stuff. Let's see, what do we... Wow. And that's the funny thing. I've had these... podcast, episode 1, I've had these topics written down for literally years. And kicking the rock down the road or the can. But we're here. I'm picking that shit up, putting it in my pocket. And let's start with, the brass bowl, okay? This is one of my all-time favorite torture devices in history. And I believe, it was called the bronze bowl. And it was pretty much what you would think. It's like that stupid bowl that's in like New York or Chicago, whatever. It's like that shit, but it was hollow, completely hollowed out. And you would light a fire underneath the belly of it. And you would hop in, or you wouldn't hop in willingly, you're getting executed horribly. But the person would be thrown from the top, from like the back, and thrown in. And it's this big... just cavity, and then towards the neck and the head had these acoustics set up, and it was like horns. So it's really fucking metal and fucked up. But basically, you throw the poor son bitch inside, light the fire underneath it. It starts heating all the metal up. The person's getting cooked essentially, and as they're screaming, their screams will go through the percussion, through, you know, what they had set up, all these little tubes inside of the head of the bull, and it sounds like a bull. I'm not going to imitate it because I can't do it, but it sounds like a bull. What's the word for that? Not whining, but it sounds like a bull getting ready to charge, I guess. I don't know what the term for it is. I'm not a fucking biologist, but it sounds like a bull getting ready to fucking charge up. And the cherry on the fucking cake is that the person, as they're being cooked in there, there's smoke that shoots from its fucking nostrils. So it's just this big bronze empty, hollowed out statue with fucked up percussion and acoustics that you throw people in, light that shit, and their suffering just sounds like a muffled bull, and their flesh is just smoke that shoots out the nostrils. And I think the funniest fucking part of the whole thing is that the first person to die by it was the dude that created it. So this poor son of a bitch slaved away, made this device, and he's like, "Here you are, sire, I have built you your bronze bull." And then that little cheeky little fuck's like, "Huh, so how does this work exactly?" And he's like, "Well, you see, sir, you light a fire under the bottom and it will heat it, and here is the hatch above, and then you throw someone in, light the fire, it will create sounds and smoke, it's glorious." And the emperor's sitting there like, "Huh, really? Now, I just want to see, how big is it inside? Could you hop in for me?" Big brain over here decides to hop in. They lock that shit behind them and light a fire. First person to die in the bronze bull was the homie that made it, but shouts out, props to homie, it worked. From whatever written accounts that we have of it, it sounded like a bull making noise and it had smoke shooting out. So he did it. Yay! He made the thing. Yeah, I don't know how many people died from that, but I just think it's quite poetic that the first person to die by that was also the creator of it. I just think that was absolutely fascinating. If you guys want to learn more about it, aside from me just rambling about it, you guys can just look it up, like bronze bull, brass bull, whatever. But yeah, I love shit like that. Like, you guys will learn. My brain is just a warehouse of random, I wouldn't say useless, but just random stuff. And with the ADHD as a companion, we just ramble on like that. What is that, Pink Floyd? No, Led Zeppelin? Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, I'm just gonna ramble on. And that reminds me, coincidentally, great video made by Vertasium about, it was this German chemist who he both killed millions of people but also saved billions of people. And I don't know if y'all care. If you do, just kind of skip forward a little bit. If you don't, that's fine. Basically, the long and short of it is that at a certain period of time, I want to say it was like the 17 or 1800s, we were running out of nitrogen. Like, there wasn't enough nitrogen in the soil or whatever. So crops weren't able to grow and stuff like that. And it's ironic because we know now that a lot of, like, the air and everything is made up of nitrogen. But for whatever reason, we were having a nitrogen shortage, and that was going to lead to just basically famine. There's a worldwide famine. Nobody can grow nothing. Everything's just fucked. So the German scientist dude, he basically figured out how to synthesize nitrogen and was able to, like, introduce that in the fertilizer and stuff like that. And that, he is quite literally responsible. You can look at the charts, the population growth from the period before that and then after that. That dude and his discovery of being able to synthesize, or whatever the proper term is, the nitrogen, he is responsible for not only me and you and your parents and my parents. He's responsible for the lives of 4 billion people. Yes, you heard that right. 4 billion people. And the most fascinating part is that he's German, and he was around during the World Wars and stuff. Motherfucker made mustard gas. And the Nazis, after he, I think 10 years after he died, the Nazis were able to basically look at his shit, and they formulated, I believe it was called Zyklon B, which was the gas that was used for the executions in concentration camps. So on one hand, this dude created and saved the lives of 4 billion people, but on the other hand, that same invention with the nitrogen and stuff also killed millions of people. And I don't know if you guys knew, because I certainly didn't, but it's fucked. But the way mustard gas works is that it irritates your little shits inside of your lungs, and it makes it fill up with fluid. You basically drown on land. And so, bruh, and it's so evil. It's 2 times heavier than air. So they deployed the canisters, and it would just roll along the ground and then seep into the trenches, and everyone would be choking on it and just literally drowning on land. Like, oh my god. And then that's the reason why you can, like McVeigh, with the Oklahoma building, the nitrogen and stuff and fertilizer, very explosive. So I just never heard of one human being having such an incredible impact on not just the world, but just like everything, you know? Like, in a funny way, that dude low-key God, right? Like, he is the reason why my dumb ass is sitting here talking to you guys at 4:30 in the morning. He's the reason why you guys are sitting there listening to me talk about this shit, right? One man, 4 billion people. That is like, that's just inconceivable. That is so many people, all from just figuring out, hey, Chief, we need to get more nitrogen here so stuff can grow. Like, oh my god, that is just so cool. And yeah, he won a Nobel Peace Prize for it, ironically. But he had detractors because of the aforementioned mustard gas and Zyklon B. But yeah, what an interesting person. Like, the amount of creation and equal destruction is honestly beautiful and poetic, you know? Like, wow, I can't imagine having that kind of impact on just everything. And it's not just us, too, like, the animals, the ecosystem, like, literally everything. He just had a huge hand. He just helped humanity just clutch up real quick and just skyrocketing births and stuff. Yeah, wow. So I'm just beside myself thinking about this dude right now and how crazy that shit is. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it feels, I can't even express to you guys how good it feels to finally be doing something that I have put off for so long. It feels so good to finally be able to just manifestation. You know, me and my friend, he helped me build my PC back in 2020, and that's like the first time I really realized like the power of manifestation and how potent it is to have an idea, to have a concept, to think of something, and then be able to create that thing and be able to make it no longer something that's floating around in your head, but something that exists in this world and is something that you can interact with and do stuff, you know, because I haven't been a PC gamer because I hadn't had previous things, but I've always been infatuated with technology and stuff like that. And so, you know, I've had laptops and stuff like that and played games, and, you know, I always knew at whatever point in time it would be like, oh, I want to get this graphics card, I want to put this processor, this, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just never put myself in a realistic position to be able to do those things. You know, but then I got a job making decent money, and then it was like the light bulb clicked. I was like, oh, I can do that thing that I've been saying I would do for years now. And my buddy that helped me with it, he was right. He's like, dude, it is so addictive. You'll get your first little piece of the puzzle, and you'll want all of it. And he wasn't kidding. I ordered, I think it was like the CPU and I think it was a CPU cooler, and some fans. Oh my god. Just having those, like, sit at the foot of my bed and just constantly seeing them and being on a fucking laptop playing fucking Gmod and watching YouTube and looking over and just seeing a fucking CPU and a CPU cooler and the fans, like, he was right. Like, I was hooked. I was hooked. I was bound and determined to get that shit. And I did. I got fat paychecks. I was able to get everything, and he came over, helped me build it, and with some help of my other friends too, I was able to get the brains of it working and everything. And now I have a very beautiful PC that I'm very proud of, that I once thought was unattainable, and now, like, or thought, like, yeah, one day I'll get that, or one day blah 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 blah. But I made that one day a day in February, and, well, I guess technically before, like, probably took like 2 months or so. So around, like, end of December, January, I took an idea, and then I just slowly but surely made it happen. And now, it's the thing I'm talking on right now. And to be able to play any game that I have or any game that I want and not have to worry about if I can run it or what settings I have to run it at, it's just such a liberating, good feeling. And I'm trying to tap into that. Again, I'm trying to tap into those feelings of what it feels like to be able to create something that will bring you joy and happiness and things that you want to create. That's part of the reason why I want to make music. Creation is just so powerful. And just, again, there's being able to take something as an idea, a concept, and then take the steps to actualize that and to realize that and make it something, that's what I need in my life. Because I got a whole bunch of shit swirling around in my head and a whole bunch of woulda, coulda, shouldas. And oddly, because, fuck you, why not? Every moment that I get these spurts of, like, motivation or creation or bolstered confidence, it's always when I'm trying to go to sleep, right? Like, this whole past week and a half, I would wake up, do whatever bullshit, get through the day, be awake for 12 hours, go to sleep. But those couple hours before I'm going to sleep, my mind is just racing, thinking about setting everything up, And it was kind of 50-50 mixes of optimism and also, like, nihilism, where it was like, fuck, I'm going to have to make new accounts, I have to make a YouTube channel, figure out how to upload, figure out how to edit it, upload it, then how am I going to get people to fuck with it, how am I going to do all those things, right? Again, I'm really good at telling myself excuses, and I look at things way too big, and I allow the overwhelmingness of that to be a reason not to. And I'm tired of lying to myself, and I'm tired of holding myself back, and I know what I can become, and I know what I can be, and I know what I want to be, and I need to take it step by step. And here we are, doing this exact thing. I was going to use Audacity to record on, but just my luck, exporting it or whatever the kind of file it is, YouTube, it's not compatible with YouTube. So if I were to record on there, I wouldn't be able to upload anything, which is obviously a problem. So then I did a little bit of research. Here we are on OBS, using it for recording, and I've done multiple run-throughs. After this, I can upload it on YouTube and then figure out all the beautiful backside of YouTube, because I've had a YouTube account since 2013, which I know there's motherfuckers that have been uploading since like 2009, so it's really not that crazy. But I've been a passive content watcher for almost a decade now on YouTube, and I follow hundreds, almost like 700 different channels. So I've been in the game and I've seen other people and everything, but this is my first time being the creator, being on the other side of YouTube, being on the backside where I'm editing, creating, uploading, and then you guys commenting and sharing and liking and all that kind of shit, you know? But I'm working with family as well as with you guys of just taking it day by day and flipping my perspective from being so negative and cynical to something where creating something not necessarily positive, because I could give a fuck less about positivity, but just using this as an outlet for myself, you know, because I have a lot of as any person, feelings and stuff like that, but it's just really frustrating, even more so, not only having the negative things or the undesirable feelings, but then also not having a way to let it out or to express it, you know? Like, I don't have a car, don't have my license, because I'm a fucking idiot, and I did some bad decisions, but I can't even, you know, like, hop in a car and just go somewhere and just scream in my car, you know? Like, something as simple as that. I don't even have access to that, so this is going to be very good for me. My sister, bless her soul, she was kind enough to help me fix up my bike so I can at least not have to be a pedestrian and walk everywhere. I can at least bike somewhere, and I'll use that as an outlet as well, being able to, you know, just go on a bike ride and just kind of ride, I guess, you know? Because that's a precarious thing about my position, is that, like, I don't have any distractions from what is, I guess, like, my life, right? Like, I don't have a lot of distractions to keep me from all of these constant negative incoming things, you know? Because I feel like a lot of people, they just bury themselves in their work or in their routines, and they don't really ever have to question anything or really think about much, because that's outside of what's already established, you know? Like, I work a 9 to 5, get up at 8:30, get to work at 9, get off at like 5:30, get home, make some food, go to bed at like 10, right? And I work Monday through Friday. And then the weekends for the boys, Saturdays for the boys, right? I feel like with like a example of a schedule like that, there's not really a lot of time allotted for just realizing or just kind of existing, you know? And these past 2 years especially, that's all I've been doing. I've just been sitting and existing and dwelling in just all of this stuff. So this is me finally taking the steps to get outside of myself and allow myself to do something that I know I want to do, that I know I can do, and just enable me to be able to start to create a version of where I want to be at, you know? Because like I said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I'm going to take all of this anger and rage and negativity that I feel, and I'm going to use it and channel it in this kind of medium and in other kinds of mediums. You know, you guys will see different versions of me. I'm not always going to be... This is sober me. What's today? Well, I guess technically now it's Friday. I haven't smoked weed in since Wednesday, so not gonna lie, it's been kind of tough, because cannabis especially at this point in my life, but previously it was one of the few things that brings color to my world, the few glimpses of just relief for myself, you know? Like if this PDD is like a headache, right? Cannabis is like my Tylenol, right? So I'm used to having migraines and headaches, but then I can pop this Tylenol and it gives me relief from that and allows me to live without that. And it's been shitty the past couple days, but I know it's ultimately not necessarily a good thing, but rather I know I can live life without it and be happy without it. I just prefer not to, kind of thing, right? But I'm at a position where I don't have a choice. I don't have a vehicle literally or figuratively to get it. I don't have any currency. So I'm just in it. And instead of I need a word that's not regret, but I'm trying to say, like, what would be the opposite of looking forward to something? Because that's what it is. Like, thinking about not having at least cannabis, at least that distraction for a few hours, makes me not look forward to things, whatever that word is. Anti-looking forward to things. But there's also another side of me that has realized and recognized that, especially certain strains and stuff that I've smoked, certain terpenes, have enabled my complacency and have made it to where I'm okay with just sitting in the shit, Like, I can sit in the shit as long as I got a bowl at the end of the day, kind of thing, right? And now that, I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, now that I'm forced in a way to be sober, I'm tired of sitting in the shit. Like, I'm really fucking done with it. So I'm looking to this lack of right now as a tool to put myself in a position to be able to do that, to be able to get that, right? So here I am, sober, finally making the podcast, and eventually, over time, and with, other avenues, I'll be able to make money, and then I can use that money to be able to have cannabis and be able to, make life just a little bit less shitty. You can't take it all away. Well, maybe, I don't know. I've lived my life so much like this. I genuinely don't know what it's like to not live shitty, and I don't know if there's any medication or therapy that I could do that could help that, but I'm very eager to do so. But I just want to thank all you guys for being here, listening to me, supporting me. It really means a lot, and I know people say that a lot, but I really fucking mean it, I'm just a dude talking to himself in his fucking super hot room in the summertime. I ain't got shit going on. I'm not out doing stuff, not hanging out with people, So your guys' support and reaching out and communicating with you guys means a lot to me, because especially at this point in my life, I don't really have a whole lot. And when this shit kicks off, I'm already appreciative as it is being able to do this, but being able to see your guys' reaction, being able to, be there with you guys, help you guys, all that kind of stuff, that's something that it means a lot to me. And I just thank you guys. Thank you for deciding to, because again, time's the most valuable thing we have. So thank you for choosing to spend your time listening to me. I know you had a whole bunch of other options, but I'm glad you chose me. And I hope you guys stick around. I got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, a lot of ideas and stuff that I want to do. Like I said, setting up the Discord and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm using this as an opportunity to find myself, find others, and find a way to make things less shit, Because before, and like, I mean, before as in like, hell, even the other day, before recording this, I was just like, you know what? If everything's about positivity, I'm going to be nothing but negativity. And I realized that's obviously not, that's not what I want to do. I forgot who said it. I saw it in passing. But it was like, if you experience shittiness and know what it's like to be shitty, why would you put that on other people or put that out there? And that's when I kind of pumped the brakes on the negativity or dispelling the negativity. Because I'm like, yeah, you know what? Enough shit in life already sucks ass. Why be another thing to add on to the ass sucking, Like, I'm not a cheerful, fucking peppy, everything's awesome. Not gonna be that. But I'm not gonna shit on your hopes and dreams just because I have none, I'm putting an end to the cycle with myself, and I'm choosing to make something, take a negative, turn it to a positive kind of thing. But yeah, again, I just want to thank you guys for being here, for participating, for listening. Again, if you guys, the Gmails for all kinds of things, business stuff, you guys hit me up. Just anything like that. If you have ideas or something you'd like to hear or talk about the next coming days, it's already Friday, so I'll probably, if I stay up later today, I'll make a Discord and a server and set that shit up, because I don't know how to do that, but I'm not going to let the lack of knowledge be a reason for not learning, because I do love to learn stuff, and in the end, I know it's a net positive, because it'll allow me to communicate with you guys and be able to build this cabal that I'm trying to create, this coalition, yeah, thank you guys for rocking with me. Like 1090 Jake says, I've been rocking with y'all been rocking with me. That guy's fucking sick. But yeah, we'll end it out here on one last yeah, we'll just leave it with this last little tidbit. I live in southern Arizona, like within 100 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border, and I found out not too long ago that the cartels, ever since cannabis has started to become more legalized and more accepted or decriminalized or medical or whatever, the cartels have stopped trying to ship weed over the border. And they've straight up said that, like, yeah, it's just not worth it, bro. The shit that they're growing and that they have stateside is already better than the shit that we got. So why the fuck are we gonna do that? But that then, and not for any consequence of cannabis or anything, legalization is good. I am pro legalization of fucking everything, and I mean everything. Yes, your ketamines, your methamphetamines, your cocaines, all of it should be legalized and regulated so that it helps, so that people can consume safely, because obviously prohibition doesn't fucking work. But not a consequence, but an interesting side effect of this is the cartels have now learned how to produce and make fentanyl from China and from Chinese chemists. So now they went from selling bushweed to cutting your blow with some fucking fentanyl. So I'm an advocate of drug usage, but it has to be, you have to do it safely. So if you're gonna fuck around and do drugs, make sure you can get a test kit. And straight up, if you can't afford a test kit, don't buy drugs. If you have the $60 to buy a gram of coke, then you should be able to buy a fucking $15 test kit or whatever the fuck. Psych Substance, Adam Psych Substance, he has the better shit for harm reduction and what kind of kits to use. But point being, if you got money for drugs, you got money to protect yourself, you're not going to go, I mean, some guys will, but I myself, I'm not gonna, do the dirty with some person that I met and not wrap it before I tap it, right? I'm gonna fucking protect myself because I don't know where she's been. I don't know what they've been doing, kind of thing, right? So don't just trust your fucking dealer. Don't just trust your plug. And don't get me wrong, I love my plugs. I love my dealers. But test your shit. Make sure it's safe. Make sure you're safe. Because at the end of the day, you want to be here to be able to do it again, right? Like, it would fucking suck if you took something, found out it was something else, and then fucking died from that shit, dude. And again, if you have the money to be able to afford it in the first place, you can get a test kit. Protect yourself. Put your drug condom on. I want y'all to be safe out there. I don't want to lose you guys because some fucking bullshit, alright? But I've been rambling on for in a little over an hour now. Again, thank you everyone for listening. I'm not going to ask you to like it because that's fucking corny and cringy. But I hope you guys did enjoy. In the comments or whatever, let me know what you think. Some other topics. If you hit the email, if you want to link up and do something. Yeah. Thank you guys. This has been the very first episode of Foks Talks. Thank you all for stopping by and stay foxy.